So lichen. I know basic lichen, like old man's beard, is really great to start fires with if you're ever out in the forest, but I didn't know you could dye with it. I just wanted a base start with, not doing anything fancy. I was able to get quite a bit of lichen because it is February and things were blowing off the trees. So I gathered what I could with the different types of lichen that was around, and I was just thought all lichen was kind of the same, that there wasn't too many different types of lichen. Once I started researching more about lichen, I realized there's a lot of different lichen on the same branches and that they all have different uses and colors. So in this first experiment, I gathered what I could, and I was watching some videos saying that the lichen actually had to be on the wool to achieve the color. So I put it together with the wool. So I did not stir this pot too often so the lichen color at the top did not swirl around and transfer to the bottom. So the wool at the bottom was quite white. So I went out searching for more lichen in an area that had been clear cut, and I was able to get a lot more lichen. So I decided to boil it first to be able to get some of that color out of the lichen and then transfer it and dye it to see if that made a different color. I really wanted to try to get a baseline color without doing any additional things. Another way to extract the color is to putting the lichen in ammonia and letting that sit for a period of time to extract the color, and it would get a different color than if you were boiling it, and also depending on what type of lichen it was. So I boiled this down for a couple hours, then put it into another pot and let it cool before I added the wool to it. So I thought doing it this way, there'd be a lot more saturated color and it would be all around the fibers, not just in one place. So I left it to cool down, and in the morning time I drained it out. The lichen from what I had boiled had been pretty much exhausted. Color isn't really showing up to the true natural color. It is a lot darker, more of a caramel color, but it really does show once I started felting it together, and you're able to see the color a lot more brightly. So that is my first time naturally dyeing using lichen and just using those two different experiments to get a baseline to go forward.